It's been told to me by my father, and he heard it from the source. That story happened in year approximately 1914 to 1915. Anybody knows what was happening in the year 1914 to 1915 in Europe? About 1915, Russian soldiers had a battle in, I believe, in Hungary with the German soldiers. And at that time, the Jews were allowed not just in an army as before as a support forces, but actually as a battle forces. And Jews were wearing the ammunitions and everything. They were part of the Russian army. On another side of the fence was the Jewish soldiers who were actually part of the German army, as surprisingly as it is. And one night before the battle, a few Jewish Russian soldiers decided to go and do Mariv, pray Mariv near the fence, but far from the forces, so Russian forces won't be seen and they won't be punished by the Russians. When they were start saying Shema, they realized that they're hearing echo of somebody else saying Shema. They started turning around and they discovered that on another side of the fence of the battlefield was the German Jewish soldiers also making Mariv, but both sides didn't have enough for a minyan. So they created a minyan and they had a beautiful Mariv together, speaking Yiddish with each other, Russian and German Jewish soldiers, and they kissed actually each other before the battle because they didn't want to fight with each other, but they were forced. And in the morning was a battle, and the Russians lost in that battle. And one of the soldiers from that minyan, the Russian soldier, was hurt and was captured by the Germans. And he went to the German war camp. It wasn't concentration camp at that time, war camp. He got, they treated him, he got well, but he's supposed to be in the camp. Sometimes the Germans used to come to the camp and buy prisoners of the camp for their workers to work in Germany. And one day, one former soldier, German soldier, came, and at that time German was quite successful versus Russians, and started looking for a helper to buy. And he saw that Russian Jewish guy, and it happens to be that was one of the German soldiers with whom they were praying in a minyan. He happens to be German, somewhat lower officer, who just didn't want to go to the army, and he recognized that Russian guy, and he actually paid the money, and he got the guy, and make him his worker in one of his estates in Germany. Don't remember what city exactly, but happens to be that German officer was a watchmaker, and he was one of the top. He was Jewish.